Can you do this? As early as your 40s, you may lose muscle and strength. Protein supports muscle health. Ensure Max Protein has 30 grams of high-quality protein to feed your muscles up to 7 hours. So take the challenge. Ensure.
And taxi operators who ply the Spanish Town to Sligoville route in St. Catherine withdrew their service this week in protest over road conditions. Details in this report.
From the front passenger seat of this taxi, the road is not a commute. It's an audition for a Survivor series, May the Best Vehicle Suspension Win. At least that's how taxi operators who are forced to use it daily feel.
Call every month, me have to look on at least $130,000 or $125,000 just to start out front end, tire, and what could necessary. But the most thing are front end parts.
The scrape up the side of the car, you have to look out, you have to extreme cars. Even when a trucker come, the truck now want to stay up and feel inside this part, overhanging them there. So I come way over on your side. So it's very dangerous.
Taxi operators who ply the route from Spanish Town to Sligoville have described it as a death trap. One decided to lay in the hole to show its depth. The asphalt was given up, evicting them from every right to their road license, and so they withdrew their service Monday morning.
So right now, I just tell myself, I'm going to withdraw my service in Kensington. So I don't know if people are working there because right now I just 2 taxis alone running there. So.
Several residents were left inconvenienced: children, new mothers, adults, and the elderly.
I'm supposed to be at work right now as I speak, and I can't go to work because all taxi operators withdrew their service from working this morning. So unfortunately, I can't be at work.
Monday morning also marked orientation for students at the Heart NSTA Trust in Cedar Valley and James Mountain. 115 students have been enrolled. They too were impacted. Member of Parliament turned part-time teacher Natalie Nita Garvey met with the disgruntled taxi operators. She says work is expected to begin by the end of the month.
I was able to get Minister Morgan on the phone, who has agreed that within the next 2 weeks, we will be effecting some repairs to this roadway to be able to reduce the kind of pressure that the taxi operators are now facing.
TVJ News contacted Works Minister Robert Morgan, who said the work will begin under the GO Road Rehabilitation Program. $1.4 billion have been allocated towards fixing heavily trafficked corridors that are critical to public transportation and commerce. For the taxi operators, it's a major thoroughfare, the alternative route when the Bogwalk Gorge closes, and for those who do not have money for the toll.
So you know, say for the next 2 weeks, we're not seeing no patching. It's all going back to square one again.
Aliyah Bryant, TVJ News.
It's now time for a break, but do stay with us. More stories when we return. Welcome back to the Midday News. Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton has announced a $50 million program to train hundreds of unpaid caregivers in Jamaica. The program is to help ensure persons can better provide for the elderly and persons with disabilities. The training will, among other things, teach the caregivers how to move people with injuries. Now, unpaid caregivers are usually relatives of the needy in communities.
These are our children, the aunts, the cousin, the neighbor, the church brother or sister. They are the ones who take care of the old person who is at home and are not paid. They do it. They are like the social conscience of family and community. Madam Speaker, the time has come to recognize them and to salute them. And this is not unique to Jamaica. Studies support this across the world. Studies from PAO, IDB, and otherwise. This year, we'll commence a phased pilot of home-based long-term care that includes unpaid caregivers as part of the care team for older persons and persons with disabilities. During the last year, we trained some 148 community health aides. Professor Shearer will oversee a national training program for community caregivers on how to care for older persons and persons with disability. A task force will be established, including the Ministries of Labour and Social Security, local government, churches, community organizations, and aged care organizations, and their main function will be to identify persons for training, ensuring wide community participation.
And it's now time for the Business Minute. Senior Investment Advisor at Mayberry Investments, Christopher Thomas, says the shareholders of Trans-Jamaica Highway stand to benefit from a 30% increase in dividends and more capital appreciation. He stressed that this is because the company's net profits jumped by 46% to US $13 million. Now revenues stood at US $29 million. Based on these results, the company declared a dividend of US $30 million during the 3-month period, which ended on March 31 of this year. And here's a preview of what's coming up in this evening's health report.
This evening's health report, we look at diabetes in children.
So they have to be carefully monitored and managed, and the parents have to be educated about the condition, and their friends as well. In the same way, even at school, the teacher has to be aware that this child may need to have a little snack at certain times of the day, so the child must be allowed that kind of time to be able to have the intake to meet the requirements of the management regime that they're on.
That's the health report in Primetime News at 7. And now for today's healthy living tip. Eat a healthy diet with less sugar, junk food, and more fruits and vegetables. Exercise regularly to keep your body active and maintain a healthy weight. Avoid too much sugary drinks and processed foods, and go for regular checkups to monitor blood sugar levels.
Time now for the top regional and international stories. 6 medical practitioners in Suriname are speaking out against what they describe as dangerous misinformation about HIV/AIDS. The group says a recent article about a national HIV testing campaign contained serious factual inaccuracies that could harm public health. Now, the doctors stress that decades of public research, or rather global research, have proven that HIV causes AIDS, and they reject claims suggesting otherwise. They also defended HIV testing and modern treatment, saying it allows people with HIV to live long, live healthy lives while preventing transmission of the virus. Now, the group is urging the public to get tested, know their status, and seek early treatment. And we now head to our final break. When we come back, we'll have your Midday Sports Report.
Do this as early as your 40s. You may lose muscle and strength. Protein supports muscle health. Ensure Max Protein has 30 grams of high-quality protein to feed your muscles up to 7 hours. So take the challenge. Ensure.